Hi, this is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life. And today we are doing our affirmation. If you've been following us, you can tell that every single day we're doing a different positive affirmation. And the affirmation, and we do it by the week and by the day. And so the positive affirmation for this whole entire week is, I am happy in the moment. And I hope that this week especially, you are becoming more self-aware and really listening to your emotions, checking in with your emotions. Not that our emotions should run things, but just that it's good to check in with our emotions so we can see what needs to be changed. Because when we're feeling a negative emotion, sadness, worry, whatever, it usually tells us that something needs to be changed, and maybe sometimes that's even just our thinking. So this week we are practicing being happy in the moment. And the affirmation for the day is, I am able to see what I need to do next. So again, the affirmation for today is, I am able to see what I need to do next. And we are working through Dr. Susan Lawton's book, Positive Peaceful Growth Journey Calendar, and you can buy it at Aroma Tools, My Oil Life. And so first, I wanted to talk about, I am able to see what I need to do next. And as I'm thinking about this myself in my mind, I am thinking about the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, where Alice says, and she comes to this path that has like 2 or 3 divergent ways that she can go, and the Cheshire Cat appears right out of nowhere, and Alice asks the cat, which way should I go? I don't know which way I go. And the Cheshire Cat says, well, that depends on where you want to get. And Alice says, I don't really care where I want to go. And then, so the Cheshire Cat replies, well, then it doesn't really matter which path you take. And so, in order for us to be able to see clearly what we want to do next, we need to evaluate where we want to go. Like, really, where do we most want to go? And so I think I really love what Stephen Covey does on that, where he says, go ahead and write what you want said about you at the end of your life. Like, what do you want, what type of person do you want to have become, and what do you want to leave as your legacy? And then work backwards from there. And so if you're one of those people that's like, oh, this is my top priority, no, that's my top priority, no, this is my top priority, or maybe you're a person that says, I really don't know where I want to go, I don't really care, then maybe do some just quiet assessment and thinking and pondering and praying to see where you want to go, and who you really want to be, and that will lead you in what your next step is. So on the other hand, if you're a person who kind of really already knows what your goal is, then just use that quiet time, that meditative time, to sit down and think, okay, what are all the steps that I need to do to reach my goal? And then look at the steps and see which one you think will make the most difference. I have a friend, and what she loves to do is she loves to put all her things on her to-do list down, and then she looks at her priorities. She prioritizes the list, and then she always tries to get the top 4 things done on the list, because in her mind, when you get those top 4 things done, you know you're always getting the most important things done. So if you don't have time for the other things on your list, at least you have time for those most important 4. And I would just add to that pray about what your priorities are, and making sure, again, going back to the Stephen Covey stuff, make sure that you're not putting what is urgent more important than what is important. right? Because you have the things in your life that are urgent. It might be urgent that I pay my taxes, but we also have the things in our life that are important, and it's important to have good relationships, or to be respectful, or to be cooperative, and so, or honest, right? So as you're thinking about what's urgent, also think about what's more important, and don't sacrifice the important things to the urgent things. Okay? So today, again, I want you to tell yourself, I am able to see what to do next. And if you feel like you don't have that ability, if you're often if you're often just confused at where do I go next, maybe pray for the gift of discernment, and the gift of inspiration, and the gift to be able to hear God's counsel to you a little bit more. I'm reminded of a story, and this comes from Sherry Dew. And she was talking to her friend, and she had this problem that she was trying to do, and he's like, well, why don't you pray about it? And she just said, I don't feel like I'm getting any answer from God. And the person said, well, obviously you're a daughter of God, right? And so God is trying to answer you. Have you ever asked God, what does a yes answer look like? What does a no answer look like? And how do you talk to me? Like, how is it? Like, are you talking to me because I feel different things? Are you talking to me because I get reoccurring thoughts to my head, and those reoccurring thoughts are really from you? Like Heavenly Father, how are you talking to me? Because Heavenly Father, I think, talks to us all in different ways. Sometimes He just gives us, sometimes He talks to us through music. Like sometimes a song kind of keeps repeating in our head, and sometimes He talks to us through music. Sometimes anyway. So if you're one of those people that's like, I pray to God, but I don't really feel like I'm getting an answer, then maybe what we can do is asking God, what does a no answer look like or feel like? What does a yes answer look like or feel like? And how do you really talk to me? Right? Okay, so I think, and I'm sure that you guys have amazing wisdom on what you do when you need to see what to do next. And so if you want to share your amazing wisdom on that, please put it on the comments. Okay, well, I think that we know that on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, backing up. So you know that throughout the week, as we're working on the different positive affirmations, and the affirmation for this week is, I am being happy in the moment. We are also diffusing 3 different oils, 2 drops of each of the 3 different oils. And this week's combination, diffuser blend, is 2 drops of Vetiver, which is the oil of, oh my gracious, Vetiver, the oil of centering and descent. I was thinking the oil of grounding, but I knew that was not right. So the oil of centering and descent. And Rosemary, the oil of knowledge and, hold on, looking, because I'm forgetting. Rosemary, the oil of knowledge and transition. And then wild orange, the oil of abundance. And today we are going to be going in depth and talking about Vetiver essential oil. So Vetiver is a grass and you get the essential oil from the roots of the grass. And just to let you know that almost every essential oil that comes from roots helps center and ground, and it helps you become more emotionally stable. So that's the one thing that you can remember about Vetiver, because it is a root. It will help you become more emotionally stable. So if you're anxious or uptight or stressed, Vetiver is just going to have this incredibly calming effect on you. Okay, it's also just to let you know, it's also super good when your mind is going 100 directions and you can't shut down your mind at night. Like when you're trying to sleep and you just keep thinking of this and that and this and that, like maybe you didn't get done everything that you wanted to get done that day, and you just can't let that go yet, right? Or maybe you have some problems and you're trying to figure them out and you just can't stop thinking about them. Vetiver is super, super good to put on in those moments because it does have that grounding, centering, peaceful. Yesterday, our affirmation is I am peaceful. And Vetiver has a very peaceful, peacemaking effect. So if I couldn't sleep because my brain was just not shutting down, what I would do is I would just take the bottle like this, and I would not even put it on a full drop. I would just like barely tip it over, just get a little bit on my finger, and then I would rub that especially on my toes, but especially on my big toes. So what we know about reflexology points on the hands and the toes and the ears, I'm not such an expert on reflexology points on the ears. Feet are my specialty when it comes to reflexology. So on the foot, your toes, it basically kind of corresponds with your body. And at the toes, that kind of corresponds with your head, and then it kind of goes down from there. So if we're trying to just calm down our brain, we're going to be wanting to put it on the tops of our toes, on the bottom of the foot, not the top of the foot, but like on the tops of the toes as opposed to further down the toe. Anyway, because those are the reflexology points that connect with your brain. So Vetiver is super good for that. You can diffuse Vetiver if you're using an essential oil for emotional benefits. Diffusing is one of the very best ways to use it. And I wanted to tell you a little bit more about Vetiver. And this time I'm going to use one of my favorite books. It's written by Rebecca Hines, and it's called Emotions and Essential Oils, an A to Z Guide. And this is the second edition. And I just wanted to read to you, not the whole thing, but a little bit about Vetiver. And Vetiver, it's just like so perfect because it pairs so much with I'm able to see what I need to do next. So listen, think about today's mantra. I'm able to see what I need to do next as I'm reading this to you. Vetiver is tremendously supportive for the multitasking mind that tends to gravitate towards systems of ADD, such as distraction. So, it's kind of that double-mindedness or that uncertainty of I have all these things I want to do, and which order do I do first? And I know that as women, we love to multitask. Like if I'm chatting with a girlfriend, I am always cleaning my house, right? Because maybe not always, like sometimes I'm just out having a peaceful chat, but most of the time if I'm in my house, I am cleaning because women do more than one thing at a time. Like we love kind of doing as much as we can sometimes. And so or if I'm watching a movie, I am probably matching socks or writing in my journal women tend to do that. For whatever reason, and some men do that too, but for whatever reason, women seem to like to multitask and men seem to like to single task. And I think that both are great. Like there's not a right or wrong there. So, anyway, but if you're running in so many directions that you can't seem to get anything accomplished, Vetiver essential oil is going to be super, super good for you. Okay, so going on. If you're torn between different priorities, if you're struggling to make simple decisions, like if you have so much on your plate that you almost can't even decide on simple things. And sometimes that happens if we've had major trauma to our lives. Sometimes that shock and awe from major trauma can really make it hard to make even very simple decisions. So if you're having a hard time making simple decisions because of trauma, be gentle with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be kind and loving to yourself, and let yourself know that you're not always going to have this this hard time making decisions. You're having a little bit more harder time making decisions because of trauma and shock and awe and, you know, PTSD or whatever has happened. But even Vetiver can help with that. Okay? So, a lot of people think that Vetiver smells like dirt. So it's not going to be one of those oils that or horses. Some people think it smells like wet horses. I've never been around horses very much. But so it's not going to be one of those oils that you just think smells amazing, but can still help you do amazing things. Okay, it also helps encourage people to have confidence in what they do and when they do it and why. Because sometimes we know what's right to do, but sometimes the timing, like sometimes we can be off on our timing of when we do things. So let's make sure that when, again, as we're working on, I know what to do, I'm able to see what I need to do next. Let's make sure that we're being patient with that process. And when we figure out what's right to do, let's make sure, is this the right time? Let's just go ahead and ask that additional question. This is the right thing to do, but is this the right time? Okay, so let's say that you're planting a garden. I know that I want to plant some pansy seeds, or I'm not a gardener, but I know I want to plant some carrot seeds, right? Well, we need to see if it's the right time. Like, even I, who am not a gardener, knows that you don't go ahead and plant carrot seeds in like the absolute freezing of winter, right? Or even I, who's not a gardener, knows that you probably need to like break up your dirt a little bit so that it's not so tight and compacted. And maybe you need to add some nourishment to your dirt. Like, I'm sure that all that has happened or can help, is what I'm saying. And so before when you think you know what's right to do, maybe go that second step and say, is now the right time? Is it winter right now in whatever circumstance you are? Do I need to wait for summer to come? You know, do I need to nourish whatever it is, the relationship? You know, maybe if it's a business relationship, a family relationship that you're trying to tweak certain things on. Do I need to do some nourishing first? And so definitely think about that. And anyway, it also said that Vetiver is really good for those who are, they're mentally fatigued, they're easily distracted, they have frustration, anger, trauma, and trauma can bring on a lot of frustration and anger. And if you are in shock, if you're depressed or you're anxious, Vetiver can be really, really good for that. And so this book always gives you another affirmation. I think I need some water here. Anyway, this book also gives you a little bit more affirmation for each essential oil. So I just really wanted to quick read you the affirmation that Rebecca Hines gives you in this book. And again, you can buy this book at Aroma Tools or My Oil or Oil Life, or online, probably a dozen different places. And it says, I share my opinions freely and easily. I share my opinions freely and easily shrug off when someone disagrees. Like, we don't have to get all bent out of shape when someone disagrees with us, right? I commit to being honest about who I am and what I love. I am making wise decisions is easy for me. Let's not get it into our head. Like, we've all made wrong decisions in the past, right? But let's not keep telling ourselves, oh, I always make bad decisions. Oh, if there's a way to make a bad decision, I'll make that, right? Or if there's a wrong path to take, I'm going to take that. We don't want to tell ourselves that. Anyway, we don't want to tell ourselves that. We don't want to tell other people that. What we want to be saying is, you are wise and you can make the best decisions for you. You are wise and you can be inspired by God, right? That we can hear the Spirit, that we can see right from wrong, that we can look down past and see, oh, what are going to be the consequences of these things if I do this, right? So we can see what we need to do next. I love how she goes on, Rebecca in this book goes on to say, my life improves every day and in every way because of my wise decisions. So, whether you choose to do a mantra from this book or whether you choose to do the mantra today, which is, I am able to see what I need to do next, I hope that you will build that trust in yourself. And I hope that you take the time to make the wise decisions and to do what you know you should do in the time that you should be doing it. Okay, again, that is Vetiver essential oil, and this week we are diffusing 2 drops of the Vetiver, which is the oil of centering and descent. Hold on, I think I got that wrong. Yeah, the oil of centering descent. Rosemary, the oil of knowledge and transition, and wild orange, the oil of abundance. And we are, in the book, it tells us to listen to Vivaldi's Winter from his 4 seasons, but I listened to that, and personally, that I do not connect with that piece. That piece is a very harsh piece. It has a lot of harsh tones in it. I went ahead and listened to Vivaldi's Fall, which I really do like, and his Summer and his Spring, and I'm just saying, I'm not sure that, there's probably other pieces by Vivaldi that are super good. I am not as much of a Vivaldi fan, so as I'm thinking about I'm being happy in the moment and I am able to see what to do next, I connect so much more with Bach's Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring, which is just a very, very happy, peaceful, pastoral type of piece, just a relaxing piece. So if you listen to Vivaldi's Winter and you don't connect to it, try Bach's Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring. And if you don't connect with that, come up with something else that reminds you that you are feeling happy in the moment and reminds you that you are able to see what to do next. Like, I think God put it into us that we are able to see what we need to do next. I'm just saying that I also think that the more we obey God's commandments, the more of His Spirit we have with us and the better choices we can make. So I just want to throw that in too. So if you're having a hard time seeing what to do next, maybe just do a little bit of a self-assessment on that one and see, hey, am I living the way in accordance to my values? And where am I not living in accordance to my values or God's values, if those are the same? And so I think that if you live more in accordance with your values and in accordance with God's values, you're going to have more of the Holy Spirit with you. And that's going to help you see more clearly and see more easily which path to go. Okay, so I am Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life. And I hope that today you are able to see the next step and take it at the right time. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.